So there have been many videos online talking about theories about whether you can tell whether a guy is lying or not by looking at his eyes, whether he looks to his right or to his left as he's talking. And it's good to establish direction early in this video because obviously things are reversed. My right is this way, but obviously that's going to be to your left. So from your perspective, I'm looking left, but I'm actually looking to my right? Because obviously you're looking at me, I'm facing you, we're looking opposite directions, right? All right, so I thought I would test this theory on myself. I've never done this before. This is my first time doing this, so this is kind of an interesting experiment. It'll be interesting to see how this actually turns out, what the results of this are. So I'm going to talk about some stuff, and while I'm talking, I'm going to make some things up, and I'm not going to consciously try to look in any particular direction. I'm just going to be natural and flow, and if it so happens that this stuff is true, then I'm going to look one direction when I'm lying and another direction when I'm telling the truth. So we shall see whether this is true or not. So let's go ahead and begin. So my name is Frank Thompson, and I actually work at a construction company, and I've actually been doing construction work for about, I would say, going on 50 years now. And the reason that I started doing construction was because my father actually worked in construction. Before that, he actually did some other things, but he retired actually as a teacher. So my father was actually a teacher, and I was actually born in Jamaica in the late 70s, and my age right now is actually 39 years old, and on my 40th birthday I've actually have a trip planned where I'm going to go to Guatemala for a week or two, and I'm actually married and I have 3 kids, and I'm not going to take them with me because what we plan on doing is, because it's going to cost a lot of money to take the kids with us, so to save money, what we're going to do is we're actually going to put, because they're small, our kids are small, so we're going to put all 3 of them in the freezer. We're going to kind of sneak them, trick them to go into the freezer, and then we'll just leave them in there until they die, and then there's not going to be an odor because they're going to be in the freezer and everything. So so then me and my wife, we're going to go to Guatemala, and we won't have to worry about paying for a babysitter or bringing them along with us. So we'll save a lot of money that way, and we'll save a lot of money when we come back as well, because when we come back we won't have any kids because obviously they're dead. So yeah, so my favorite color is blue, and I guess I could tell you a little story. So I actually used to live in New York, and when I came to New York, I came to New York from Boston actually. When I came to New York, I stayed with an aunt of mine just to kind of get myself started, kind of thing. And I lived in the Bronx, and I remember I used to go when I was looking for work. I would apply to jobs in the newspapers, and I would fax out my resumes, and I used to go down to the downtown Manhattan area because that's where I saw a lot of people in suits, and I figured, these people, they look like they have money. This is where the jobs are. I'm looking for a job, so I'm around people that look like they're successful. They have some great jobs. So I actually got my first job on Wall Street this way. I walked into a fancy building, and I dropped off my resume. I had a job interview within a week. I went to the job interview. I absolutely blew them away. And when I asked for like how much money I was looking for, I had no idea of my value. They actually paid me, I think it was $10,000 to $20,000 more than I was asking for. I had no idea of my value. Coming from the islands, I didn't have the background. I didn't know my worth. So that was a very interesting experience, but that began my my professional career back in the days when I was actually living in New York. And so I'm actually planning on divorcing my wife, because after the vacation I'll kind of be tired of her at that point. So I'm just gonna divorce her. She doesn't know this yet, so I'm not gonna upload this video until after we come back, because obviously I don't want her to see this video and reveal that I'm actually divorcing her. But once I divorce her, I'll be able to spend more time with my girlfriend. And so I've actually been single for the last 30 to 40 years, and the reason for that is because of the fact that I just don't like commitment. Commitment really bothers me. Commitment really scares me. It's kind of like yesterday when I was in the backyard and there was this black bear that showed up, and you know, I'm looking at this bear and I'm like, what am I gonna do? I'm terrified, and I'm like, wow, I've got to do something. So I saw this rock on the ground and I threw it at the bear, hit it in its face, and the bear kind of charged forward, and I thought I was gonna die. I certainly thought I was gonna die. But when the bear lunged forward, it actually tripped over. There was like a log on the ground. It tripped over the log, and it actually fell, hit its head on another rock, a larger rock, and it was knocked out unconscious. And I actually survived as a result. I'm not really sure why I just told you guys that story, but you know. Anyway, so that's my story. So obviously a lot of stuff that I said was completely nonsense, and you guys have an interesting perspective right now, because as you are watching this video, you are seeing in real time what happened with my eyes in terms of looking left, looking right. I am right now recording the video, so I have not seen the video. I can't look at my eyes while I'm talking to you, so I'm kind of a little bit excited to see what the results of this test will be. To me, I'll give you my perspective of doing this video. I feel like, like right now I'm doing it, whenever I'm thinking about what I'm gonna say, whether it's truth or not, I tend to look up. I don't know if it's slightly to the left or to the right. I didn't feel like I was ever shifting one way or the next. So if I was shifting left and right, it certainly doesn't feel to me like it was obvious. So if it was obvious, that's dangerous. That means that you guys potentially are able to tell more things about me than I'm able to, in terms of, you would think, you know, someone could just control where they look on their eyes, and oh, I'm not going to reveal when I'm lying, I'm going to look the opposite way. But if I don't even have a sensation of which direction I'm looking at, then I'm not going to be able to really control it. So you're going to be able to tell whether I'm lying or not. But I don't know. I don't feel like I was looking in any particular directions. You guys can tell me, because as soon as I'm done recording this, I'm gonna have to go check it myself. But I have not yet seen it, obviously. But anyway, so here's a little bit of reading for you, ladies. You can go ahead and read. Basically, what they're saying here is that the theory is that when a man looks up to his right, he is supposedly lying. So the results of this video will tell whether that's the case or not in my situation.